Everyone, welcome to another video. In today's video we are going to solve climbing stairs problem from the Leetcode. In this problem we will be given a number n which represents the number of steps, and we need to find out in how many ways a person can reach step n. A person can take either one step or two steps at a certain step, and he needs to reach till the step number n, and we have to count the number of ways a person can reach the final step n. Let's understand some base cases around this problem. So in how many ways a person can reach step number 1? Let's say there is one step, there is only one step, and in how many ways a person can reach this step? A person can take a single step of size 1. So for I equals to 1, number of ways to reach the step number 1 is 1. And similarly, let's consider a two-step scenario. Let's say there are two steps 1 and 2, and in how many ways this person can reach step number 2? He can take this path where he first jumps to the first step and then comes here. So this is one way, and other way of doing it is he directly jumps to the second step, because he can either take steps of 1 or 2. So in this way, if I is 2, number of ways to reach step number 2 are 2. So for the remaining cases, what we can do is we can use the answers from the previous values, and we can compute for some random I which is in the middle. So let's consider this scenario. Let's say if this is some I, and in how many ways a person can reach here? A person can reach here either from here, that is I minus 1, or a person can reach from here, from I minus 2. So this is I minus 2 and this is I minus 1. A person can reach a step I from either from I minus 1 or I minus 2. So this means number of ways to reach step number I will be equal to number of ways to reach step number I minus 1 plus number of ways to reach step number I minus 2. Keeping all these things in mind, let's write a recursive solution and check whether it passes all the test cases or not. Let's implement the same solution that we have discussed. So according to our discussion, for if n is less than or equal to 0, then our answer is 0. So we should return 0 in this case. So if n is 1, if there is only one step, number of ways to reach that step is 1. So we should return 1. Otherwise, if n is 2, in that scenario we have to return 2. So these are all the base cases for our problem. For the remaining cases, we have to return a recursive call. That is, if we are at a step n, we can reach that step either by climb stairs of n minus 1, or we can reach that step from n minus 2. So this is all we need to do for a recursive brute force solution. Let's submit the solution and check whether it passes all the test cases or not. We made a typo here. Let's run this solution and check whether it passes the initial test cases. Yes, as you can see here, the solution is passing the initial test cases. Let's submit this solution and check whether it passes all the test cases or not. Here we are getting a time limit exceeded because we are just using a brute force recursive solution. This is expected. It is passing only 31 test cases. So if we write a recursive diagram for these calls, let's say we want to write a recursive call for all these functions. Let's say we are at step 5, and what are all the options that it is going to take? It will call I minus 1, that is 4, and I minus 2, that is 3. And here also it will call once again function with the argument I minus 1, that is 3, and I minus 2, that is 1. And here once again it is going to call a function with argument 1 and a function with argument 2. So here you can see that these recursive calls here and here, this gets repeated over time. So we are doing a lot of repeated calculation. That's why we are getting a time limit error. In order to solve that problem, what we can do is, instead of directly returning and calculating number of ways to reach a particular position, we can cache these answers, return values inside a hash map, and we can use those values in order to do early return. So let's create a hash map which maps from integer to integer, and we are going to call it as number of ways. And the first thing that we are going to check here is if number of ways dot find n, if it is not present, number of ways dot end. If this condition is true, then it means n is not present in our cache. So we have to calculate and update our hash map. Number of ways of n will be equal to, we just have to, instead of directly returning here, first we are going to store it in our hash map. We are going to store it in our hash map, and then we are going to return number of ways of n. So let's run this solution and check whether it passes the initial test cases or not. Yes, as you can see here, this solution is passing the initial test cases. Let's submit the solution and check whether it passes all the test cases or not. Yes, this solution is passing all the test cases. If you are interested in learning more about other data structures and algorithm related problems, please check out other videos from my channel. Thanks for watching this video.